Hey guys, welcome to another lesson brought to you by LearnDrumsLive.com. In today's lesson, we're going to look at ways in which we can improve our, well, for lack of a better term, side stick playing and I guess side stick creativity. So I think most of you probably know that when I talk about a side stick, I'm kind of talking about this kind of idea, right? Where we're taking the stick, putting it against the drum, the snare drum, giving that kind of sound to it. Now, if you're just starting out playing, or if you just moved maybe from an electronic kit to an acoustic kit, one of the things I have my students do when we talk about this is experiment where the stick sits on the head. So a lot of people, when they first do it, what they'll do is they'll put the drum stick all the way across the head so that the tip of the stick is touching the, the rim opposite of the side that they're striking the drum or the rim with the stick. So what happens when you do that is you get this kind of thing, right? Which it's not really happening. So what I try to do is keep the stick probably about the tip of the stick about 2 inches away from the rim. I know this isn't the best angle here, but if you can see that space, maybe two inches or so, and then you get a nice wood sound. Now, I'll have students experiment where I'll say, okay, well, go along the drum and see what sounds better, and when you find that spot you dig, then go with it. To me, it always sounds right about there, which is nice. I've been using these Vic Firth sticks forever, and signature, the Buddy Rich signature model, and it seems about right where Buddy's name is there. Sounds about best. Okay, so by the way, the reason I kind of came up with this lesson to work on myself, because I saw a drummer video do some really nice stuff with his side stick, where he's playing multiple beats and multiple strokes with a side stick, and I realized I can't do that very well, so I got to come up with some ideas to work on that. So anyway, the first thing we're going to look at, or the first concept, is the idea of playing an ostinato with our feet, and then playing rudiments in different note values. So we're just going to mess with single strokes and double strokes and probably paradiddles today, but you can do it with all the different rudiments, and you should. So the ostinato we're going to work on, or we're going to play against this, is we're going to do this ostinato. So it sounds like this. So it's kind of a Latin-y feel, like maybe a kick drum pattern you might use while you're playing a mambo. Kind of has that tumbao thing too, because it's being played emphasized on the and a two. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2. Now if this becomes too difficult, or you have to work up to this, that's fine. Just concentrate on the hands. But if you want to get a little creative with it and add your feet to this exercise, which is always a good thing, then this is not a bad idea. So, all right, without further ado, let's start. So what I started practicing basically first was just quarter notes against this ostinato, playing single strokes. So right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Move around the kit. Okay? So just quarter notes. Make sure you get a nice solid sound on the side stick. Okay? And if you just want to stay on the snare drum for now, that's fine. Okay? All right. But don't do what I just did there. All right. So now we're going to eighth notes. Beat pattern stays the same. Okay? That kind of thing. So 8th notes. And then 16th notes. Back to quarter notes. And you can move around the kit when you're playing 16th notes. Right? Just little patterns. Okay? And then, of course, like I said, you go back to quarter notes. 8th notes. 16 notes. Okay? Now you notice we're leading with the right hand, right, left, but you should also practice leading with left, right, because that'll actually give you, especially against an ostinato, a whole new set of challenges. But remember, the key to this, even if you take the ostinato out of it, is just making sure you get a nice, solid sound, okay? So now, experiment with that, mess with that for a little bit. We'll be right back and we'll look at double strokes. Okay, so here we are with double strokes. So again, we're going to lead with the right hand, so it's just, okay? We're going to go quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes like we did with single strokes. We're going to use the same foot, ostinato between the right foot and the left foot, so it's like this. Okay, quarter notes, double strokes is going to be like this. Okay? You can move around the kit. All right, same way. Okay, now we're going to go eighth notes. We don't want our feet to change, okay? The whole idea of an ostinato is a repeated pattern. It doesn't matter what we're doing with our hands. And again, like I said in the last part of this video, if you can't do the ostinato, you got to work your way up to it. Don't let that hang you up. You can still just do this with the hands. Take the feet out of it, okay? So those are eighth notes. Those are 16th notes. Okay, so same thing, right? So practice 16th notes. And if you can't do the 16th notes that fast, because that can get a little too rough, slow the whole thing down, okay? So start from a slower tempo, like this. Well, let's see how this goes. I'll bring it down even more. Okay, eighth notes. Okay, all right, so that's the double strokes. And that's a little challenging too, because you really got to get, and I definitely have to work on that, where you get nice even sound on both strokes. Okay, so same thing, double strokes, right hand, left hand, play the ostinato. Okay, now we're going to move on to paradiddles between our hands, playing that same ostinato. Okay, so by now I guess you get the idea of where we're going with this. This one's going to be a little bit different. Remember, we're doing paradiddles between our hands, and we're still going to do the same ostinato. But now we're going to play it between our bell of the ride cymbal and our the side stick. Okay, and we're going to start out with 16th notes and then go to quarter notes. Okay, so it'll be like. Eighths, quarter notes. Okay, so experiment with that. Like I said, you can move your right hand anywhere around the kit, as long as you keep your left hand a nice side stick, okay? And that's one way to work on getting that side stick happening, getting multiple strokes on it, and also a really nice independence exercise if you do decide to add the ostinato against it. Okay, so now let's look at one more way where we can work on our side stick patterns. And this time we're going to bring our buddy syncopation into the mix. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically play the notes in syncopation on the right hand and the spaces on our left hand against a different ostinato. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at that first measure in syncopation on page 44, whatever it is. You'll see it on the screen. We're going to play a samba as the ostinato. Of course, the samba pattern sounds like this, with the feet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to read the notes with our right hand, and we're going to loop that first measure. Okay, it's going to be like this. Okay. What we're going to do with the left hand is play the spaces. So that'd be like this. kind of cool. It gives you a nice, pattern to work against the samba. So it actually sounds pretty musical, right? So we can move the right hand to the bell. So floor tom. Okay. Okay, so remember, all we did there was we played a samba with our feet, reading the notes with our right hand, playing the spaces on the side stick with the left hand, okay? So if we took the ostinato away, that would just be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay? If you wanted to get creative, well, I guess that's sort of already kind of creative, I guess. You could also read the notes with the left hand on the side stick and then play the spaces on the right hand. But for right now, let's just play the notes with the right hand and then play the spaces with the left hand. Well, let's look at one more measure in syncopation to play that against, and then that'll be it. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so if you look at bar 2 on the screen, you see that there's less notes in this measure than the last measure. I kind of like this because it gets you, or gives you the opportunity to play a little bit more, patterns on the side stick. So if we don't play the side stick and we're playing samba with the feet, and we just play the notes on the right hand, it would be a, okay? Now we're going to add the spaces with the side stick. And that's a pretty cool pattern. Let's do it a little quicker. Also, if you wanted to get, you could also kind of play a rim shot with the right hand. Okay, so that's, I like that pattern because it sounds, it's just, I like the fact that you can add more side stick to it again. So remember, if you took the samba away and you just played the pattern, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you're playing the notes with the right hand, you're playing the spaces between the notes with the left hand, okay, as a side stick. All right, so mess with that, come up with your own ideas to work out patterns with the side sticks. And again, if you take away the ostinato, just sit there and just practice double strokes, paradiddles, 5 strokes, right? Not fast. I mean, you can practice it fast, but that's not the whole point. The point is you just got to get a nice solid sound. Experiment with it, but do take the time and work that out. I think it'll give you a nice voice, nice voicing, a new voicing to your vocabulary and lend you some creative ideas. All right, until next time, thanks for stopping by.